Happy New Year's, everybody. It's Willa, and of course, we're back with the new year, ready to trade. Today was the first trading day of the year. Just to give you an update, I haven't really traded since around the election time of last year. It was a very interesting market to say the least. A lot of weird things going on in terms of the range, how the market was maintaining levels. I had a couple faux pas, and something just to learn from. When the market's really tight and then it's expanding and it's going back into contraction, it can be a very challenging market to trade. And it was really interesting to watch. So, what I typically do in the environment where it's a tough trading environment for my edges is I just take a step back. Okay, if I take a couple of losses or a few days with some losses, then I step back and I'm watching the market to wait and see when it's going to kind of come back, or I can kind of figure out what the vibe is of the market. And I know vibe is a weird word, but that's kind of what I like to use. I like to see what the energy is in terms of, is the market going to be in restriction? Is it going to be an expansion? Is it going to be up, down? And kind of what are the settings in which may cause it to move up, or what are the settings which may cause it to move down or go sideways. And so it was an interesting market to say the least. I mean, the last Fed meeting of the year, we saw a $20 runoff on one SPY during the market. So I wasn't in that because it happened right at the time that they released the actual report, which is so interesting because in 1 minute, it's a full report, but in 1 minute, the market reacts. I was actually that day waiting because I intended to trade, waiting for the Fed to start speaking. And usually I try to wait for after the Fed speaks, particularly for the last 6 or 7 months of last year because the market was doing a lot of nothing, even with the Federal Reserve meetings. So I was being really cautious, really safe. Came in this year today, first trading day of the year, and actually got a good trade. I actually missed some really good trades being away from my desk. I had some work to do elsewhere, but I'm going to go ahead and share my trade with you guys right now. Okay, so for those of you who are just joining, I primarily trade SPX. Rarely do I trade anything else. At this level, I'm still working at being a master of SPX, and I see a lot of people, moving over to futures. And at some point, I know that I will trade futures because you don't have to deal with theta. And one of the interesting things about the tight market, the challenges is always dealing with theta. I'll show you guys a couple of trades that came on the market today that I really found interesting, and this is one right here that I was looking at taking. This is the 1 minute chart I'm showing you, and I could show you the 5 minute right behind it. Let's bring that up. And I saw this formation here. I liked the way it looked. I literally got my contracts up just a moment too slow, and in that one moment, I got it up right here. In that one moment, it went. It kind of pushed back up, and I was expecting a smaller move. So kind of right down to here. So I did not take it in here. I kind of let it go because theta was the market was ramped up with IV. So needless to say, I missed this move, which was a nice bounce off of the really the 510 on QQQ. Um, this was what that bounce was, and you can see I had a couple levels here, and then I missed that. This one I wasn't even thinking about taking. This one I was looking at taking. And you can see here we had the rejection here of price. We had the push down, push back up, continue, showed another rejection, push up again, showed another rejection. So my perfect entry point would have been here actually. Once I see this candle close, the moment that candle closes, I'm trying to take that. And that would have been a normal entry for me. Did not get it, so I really shouldn't be talking about it. I will show you what I got because at this point I actually had to walk away. Had some contractors come to the house and had to do some stuff. So let's go into what I did do. Missed this whole move here, working with the contractors on some fencing. And we'll fast forward. So I got back to my desk at like 2:30 Eastern time, right in here. And I'll tell you, I've got some lines on my chart, and I know everybody tells you don't have lines on your chart. I use my lines. Okay, so um, primary trades that I was looking at this late in the day, once we get to post 3 o'clock, is I'm looking for plays on the SMAs, and I'm going to use my 9 EMA or my 21 EMA to kind of guide the trade. All right, and so I didn't get this bounce here. This was a good entry point, and then also I got this point here. Okay, and this was my trade of the day for me. And this was a little bit late in the day, but it was at the 3:30 time point, and the 3:30 time point is a big move for me. And what set this off is also if you would look at the 5-minute. Now I use the 1 minute to enter, but I'm really watching the 5-minute. If we look at the 5-minute, I'm gonna bring the 5-minute chart up right behind us, right behind that 1 minute chart. If you go into the 5-minute chart, what you have here is a play off of the VWAP. This purple dotted line for me is my VWAP. It's how I keep track. And so looking at how we rejected the VWAP earlier in the day, if you look here, we were always really below VWAP. Once we got up here, we pushed back up, but we rejected here. I knew that we hadn't tested VWAP in so long that it would give an opportunity for us to get a rejection. I got that rejection, nice clean profit. Sorry. Nice clean profit. And I was trading bring this up here. So there's a boom to boom. This was it, right? Oh, sorry, wrong boom to boom. On the 55s, the 58.55s on SPX, I got in right here, and right here on the 2nd minute. I got in right here with confirmation, and then took it up into here. So that gave me a nice 3-to-1 trade. So it was a beautiful trade. I was able to capitalize on that real quick. At the very end of the day, I usually don't like to trade past a certain point unless I've already had a win. 330 to 340 is kind of my final point. I have a specific rule around it. If I have had a win in the day, then I can trade after 340, which is the last 20 minutes or algo time. And if I have not had a win yet in that day, then, I've got to be very sure about the trade, meaning that it's got to be one of my setups, and that actually is one of my setups. Using that VWAP, and the VWAP was also coinciding with the previous level. And so I used that. I got in right here at the top of this candle once I had the confirmation, and boom and boom. And it was a beautiful move. And so that's how I started the new year banking. If you guys are interested in trading and you want to see more trades from someone who's beginner to intermediate, and you want to learn with me as I go, definitely click like and subscribe. I'd be happy to share with you my trading journey live, but we got to get our subscriber count up. So if you want to see me trade live, learn as we go, watch me come up, because I'm going to come up, then join the page and subscribe. We look forward to seeing you and hosting you guys in the future.